Interview.
I'm Greg Zeschuk. I'm one of the founders of Bioware and also general manager of Bioware Austin.
I'm Ray Musica. I'm group general manager of Bioware and one of the co-founders of Bioware with Greg.
The darkness will consume all it touches. Stars will burn black.
Sure, yeah, I mean, Star Wars The Old Republic is getting to the point now where everything's getting finished off. We're entering a big testing phase with lots of people playing it continually. And, getting to the point where we're going to launch the game this year. And it's scary, it's daunting, it's exciting. I mean, one of the things we're really focused on at Bioware, obviously, is quality. Quality workplace, quality products, entrepreneurship in terms of being successful overall. One thing we really want to do is focus on quality of the service. I mean, this is the thing that in the online gaming space, and certainly in the MMO space, having a great game service, not just a great game, is essential. So we're doing whatever we can to make sure that, hey, we've got a great service built up, we've got people to support the players, we let in players carefully so that the whole thing doesn't collapse under their own weight, and so they have a wonderful time playing the game. So it's getting to the point now where we're starting to get to those finishing stages, which is scary but very exciting.
We're looking for inspiration from all the great MMOs that are out there in terms of some of the basic features, exploration and customization, progression, the way combat works, and combine that with the Star Wars universe. It's thousands of years before the movies. It's this kind of the Wild West where there's Jedi and Sith and galactic battles everywhere. It's a really exciting time to be situating a game in, and combine that with story, a fourth pillar we're trying to add to the experience with choice and consequences and full voice for every character in the game, and a ton of content that's story related as well as like combat and exploration. You got a pretty amazing experience. I mean, we're already getting feedback from our players in the cohort tests and internal players as well that once you play Star Wars The Old Republic, it's pretty hard to go back to other MMOs. And I think it's partly because of the way we're telling the story. It gives you like a feeling of purpose, heroic identity, and you really feel like you know what you're doing and why. And you feel like it's that much more real and credible, and I guess you have that much more inspiration to do it. And it's great to be. I guess we're feeling like we're creating something that's going to be pretty special when it comes out. So we're looking forward to seeing what the fans think.
No, I think Star Wars: The Old Republic has evolved a lot. Like, we had a general idea of what we were going to do. Certainly when we got started. I mean, this is quite a while ago, and some of the guys. Rich Vogel, Gordon Walton came to us saying, "Hey, we want to work on an online game of some sort with you guys," and we're like, yes. And so really that was the genesis of it, and eventually it turned out that we ended up being, working with Lucas and doing Star Wars. And then the game evolved a lot over time. I think the story element was always important, but partway through we realized when we started doing some of our prototyping just how powerful that element was and that sense of heroism that players had as a result. And so we cranked that up and made it one of the foundation pieces of the game. And so it tends to, it's not meandering, but it's continually evolving. Like you're sort of playing it, exploring things, seeing what's working, and then continually sort of playing to the strengths of what you're building and making a better and better game over time. And that's largely what we did with The Old Republic.
Well, it's challenging to tell a story in multiplayer. That's one of the interesting things we've had to learn some new techniques around. At the same time, a lot of the principles that have worked in past Bioware games, like the way we convey characters and the way we camera angles use the language of cinema, and the way the choice shows consequence. It could be near term, it could be longer term, and try and make that have an emotional impact on the players in a really positive way. Those things actually are very applicable to the way we're telling story in The Old Republic. The multiplayer is we've got some interesting twists, and I think they work really well. And just kind of enabling you to feel like you're part of another character's story arc, or another character can join your story arc and kind of be part of that, or there's world events that you can both be part of at the same time. You can have a group of people that are kind of all influencing the outcomes, and it's interesting, it's challenging, but I think it's going to be worthwhile for the players. But one thing we both commented on when we played it was really magical when you discover your ship, your spaceship, and you get to open up the galaxy map and see your ship in front of you and like get on board, and it's just this, I don't know, and there's a few other moments like that in the game that are just like you just have to pause for a moment because it's just overwhelming. Like you feel something really powerful. Well,
I think there's this point. I mean, that's actually part of it. This ship. There's this point where you just get a sense of the true scale of the game and how much there is and how much there's to do, and the fact that it is all voiced and it is all this giant story that is there for you to explore. It's daunting but incredibly exciting. I think anyone who plays it, they reach this point and suddenly it hits them and they go, "Wow, that's something." The key for us, we were talking about this in our talk, is actually. Is kind of always remaining true to the core values that we founded Bioware upon,
which are still very much how we make decisions today. Even though Bioware is a different entity now, we got 5 locations in Edmonton, Montreal, Virginia, and Austin, Ireland. We're part of Electronic Arts now, and lots of changes. But the things that are the same are we're still focused on quality for our products and our workplace and entrepreneurship. So focused around our employees, our customers, our investors. And humility is a big part of how we approach our day-to-day decision making as well, like being open and honest with where we're really at and trying to take feedback and apply it and try to make our next games always better than the ones before, knowing we can always improve. It's sort of like, it's not the destination, it's more the journey of always trying to get better and iterate and get better over time. Those are some of the founding principles that still are very much the same. The things that have changed are our structures, our systems. People, a lot of the same people are with us, but we also have a lot of new people. We've grown a lot over the years, and the key is to kind of maintain a really healthy culture that has a lot of trust and collaboration, open communication, and really focus on passion and quality, and not lose sight of those things even as we grow.
I think it's also that just unwavering desire to continue to be successful, and as you said at the outset, like not change. I mean, I think we want to change. We actually do change a lot of things, but like as Ray mentioned, like culture, attention to culture, changing it carefully, changing it the right way to make sure the fundamentals and the foundation is the same. Like it's a very different company when we started, but it's as stronger than it's ever been culturally. And so it's exciting to this year in particular is a shocking year of 3 gigantic releases, and it'll be maybe our biggest year ever. It's exciting. I mean, I don't know what other way to say it, but it's also, how do we top that? Well, that's what we're all about. We're not about saying, oh, we were awesome in 2011. We got to keep it going, and we got to figure out how to build upon it.